Hey y'all, it's Deanna. How's everyone doing? I hope you're all doing okay. It is Saturday, June the 3rd. Um, I just thought I'd pop on here and make this little video. Try and encourage some people to grow some of their own vegetables and fruits if you want. And that you don't have to spend a whole lot of money. It doesn't have to be real expensive. Let's see, where would I start? Like my buckets here. Which, yeah, it's got tape on it because they sit out in the sun and they get a little brittle. But anyway, those buckets, I paid like $1 a piece for them. One of the small business restaurants, I stopped in one day and I was like, do y'all have any buckets I could buy? And they did. Now, some of the bigger ones, that are chain, they might not sell you stuff like that, but the mom and pop ones, they just might. I've even gotten a bucket at one of the donut places that was local here. It's not a chain donut place, just a donut place. Then some of my other... Now, my boyfriend works in a grocery store, so those that are there wrapped in cardboard, those are oil containers from the deli. And it's not a national chain grocery store, but he does work there. It's a southern grocery store. It's only in 2 or 3 states, I think. But even the delis sometimes, or the little markets, like little Mexican markets or Chinese markets or whatever, maybe you could get, if they have anything, get something from them. Or you can use a cardboard box. It will last a season, but we all get cardboard. And what else was I going to say? The cardboard. Oh, some people even grow in the plastic tubs, like that we all, use storage tubs. Some people grow in those. They drill some holes in them and grow in them. A lot of people will grow in a pool. Those little blue ones. You can grow some stuff in those too. And then, of course, the plants. You don't have to go out and buy a plant that's outrageously priced. Get you some seeds. Seeds are cheap. Especially if you can find them at Dollar Tree or Dollar General. They're cheap. At Dollar Tree, they're, what are they? 25 cents a piece? A package? Now, at Dollar Tree now, there are not as many seeds in it, but still, you only need, it depends on how much you want to grow. You want to grow 4 tomato plants, you've got probably 10 tomato seeds in a package, I'm guessing, because I don't remember. But you've got plenty. And the dirt, well, soil can be a little expensive. If you know someone who, if you can get a load of dirt, it's cheaper. But you don't have to buy the most expensive package of dirt. I didn't. Now, when I the first year I gardened, someone told me about a nursery here that had their own dirt. And it was reasonable. It was $16 for, oh my word, I can't even remember. It was heavy. I mean, we had to use a wheelbarrow to move the bag. It was quite heavy. But, you can get some of the cheaper dirt. You can amend it with, get some mushroom compost or something that's fairly cheap. Mix it with that dirt. If you can make some leaf mold, even put the dead leaves in the dirt. It's not going to hurt. I've done it. You can put some grass clippings in that dirt as long as you're not spraying your grass with a weed killer. I use grass clippings on top of my soil, on top of the dirt in the pots to help fertilize them. What's another cheap way? if you know somebody that's got a piece of land, you can go get some of their dirt. If they, maybe they work their land and they have piles of dirt somewhere, as long as they're not sprayed with anything. But then, if you don't want to do the buckets or the containers or whatever. Oh, also when I started, I put wood and stuff like branches and, just garden clippings and stuff in the bottom to take up some of the space for the soil, because a lot of these plants don't need a whole bucket full of soil. They don't reach some of them don't reach all the way down there. And then it breaks down over time and you've got dirt in the bottom. Then, if you don't want to do the containers, but you don't really want to dig holes up all over your yard, dig a garden, if I can get it straight in my head. Get you some cardboard. If you can find a place to get some cardboard, lay some cardboard down. These in between my rows have cardboard, and we do put our grass clippings on it. But like this plant right here, it is sitting on just a piece of cardboard, and I made a little mound of dirt. I did use a can to plant that one in. The can has a hole in it. But it's just sitting there on top of that. And it will reach past that cardboard into the ground. But I didn't have to dig a hole, because I can't physically do it anymore. So you can do that. And things to support your plants, like I'm not planting anymore like that in the cans. I'm just doing the mounds, but I'm using a can to support the plant until it gets big enough. It's just a coffee can I cut the bottoms out of. But let's see, that cucumber there, if you can see it, it is being held up a little bit by a toilet paper roll while it gets established. Or squash plant, not cucumber, I'm sorry, squash. And it's also planted on a mound on a piece of cardboard. I did not want to dig holes, I can't. So I just made a mound with some soil. It doesn't take a whole lot. I added some leaf mold, some grass clippings and stuff to help pile it up and to hold the dirt in place. And that works. Some of them it's taking that one a little while to take off, but there's one right over there that's starting to spread out. My broken zucchini over there, which is hard to see in the shade, it's on a mound. And then your trellis systems, if you don't want to plant along a fence line, I just bought some cheap board and used twine. And yeah, that board's going to rot, but that's all I could afford at the time. And this is the second year for most of it. Only a couple of them have broken, which are being propped up with a bucket of rocks and another pole attached to it, because it is broken in the ground, but I don't want it to fall. And then, let's see, let me take you over here. My clothesline post here has a wrought iron planter shelf in front of it. I can't put plants in the house because I have cats that will eat them and dig them up. So I just used this planter to grow a cuckoozy squash up on it. It's something I had laying around and wasn't using. I'm like, well, I'll use it for that. Another trellis things I have. This was a chair right here. One of those vinyl chairs from way back when. It was falling apart, so I took everything off of it. I had a little pallet. It's a little bitty pallet I got from the grocery store. And it's going to be a trellis. That right there, my neighbor had. Maybe it was a stool, I don't know. I was like, can I have that? He gave it to me. And then these trellises over here, what I'm trellising on anyway, were the foldable chairs. They were falling apart, the seats, or the material on them was starting to rot. So I took all that off, and I'm going to grow some squash up them. Like this one, I had to tie it up to it already. So There's one of those that's a one of those oil containers. They aren't lasting past this year, I don't think, because they're starting to fall apart. But that's okay. They've worked for 2 years. More of my trellising system. Yesterday, let's see, this pole right here, I'm using these as stakes. My neighbor had these laying around. I'm like, can I have those? Just what you can find, what you can get from somebody will work. And this umbrella here, neighbor also had it. And I'm like, can I have that? I used it yesterday to shade some squash down there that were looking a little puny from the sun. But anyway, y'all, that's it for this one. Just, if you can, try and grow you something. You don't have to spend a whole lot of money. It doesn't have to look like it came out of like it belongs in a magazine article, on the cover of a magazine. Doesn't have to be gorgeous, doesn't have to be pretty. Mine's not pretty. It's a hot mess. And I didn't spend an absolute fortune. But I'm, growing some food. So, it's certainly cheaper than a lot of the vegetables. I mean, good grief, I haven't bought vegetables in a while, so I do know that the potatoes are almost $1 a pound. That's ridiculous. I do have some potatoes I'm trying to grow, but that's ridiculous. I don't know. I haven't bought tomatoes in a while. I haven't bought onions in quite a while. I'm not buying peppers. Excuse me, I'm not buying peppers. I hope to not be buying squash if I can, keep the vine borer at bay. Things like that. Over time, it adds up to a savings. It really, really does. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Like, subscribe, share. Take care. If you have any ideas on how to do it on the cheap, put them in the comments so other people can see them. And I can see them. Maybe it's something I don't know. All right, y'all. Y'all have a good one. Bye. Hi, I'm back. They wanted to say hello. There's Lucy and Harley. What y'all doing? They're ready to go in and have their breakfast. I'm ready to have my coffee. Y'all have a good one. Bye now.